Alright, there are 3 key factors that are crucial to presenting like a pro, and in this short video I'm going to break them all down because at some stage in your life you are going to have to present something. So whether you find this video because you've got a big presentation coming up in work, or maybe you have to give a speech at a friend's wedding and you're actually quite concerned about it, or maybe you want to get into content creation like this and just want to learn how to speak directly to camera, whatever it is, I've got you covered. And to prove that anyone can present like a pro when they get these 3 factors down, I'm going to do this entire video in one take. So please stick around to the end so you can roast me in the comments if I completely mess it up. So look, without wasting any more of your time, what are those 3 factors? Well, from now on we're going to refer to them as the 3 C's, and that is confidence, control, and clarity. So firstly, let's talk about confidence. If you want to be able to present like a pro, you need to be able to speak confidently. What I mean by that is speaking with expressive tone of voice and expressive hand gestures and projecting your voice so you engage with the audience. You know, we've all had that teacher in school who kind of spoke a bit like this and looked down and was very monotone. You know, the minute I hear that style of communication, I immediately switch off. And I've slept through many a class where the teacher's been like that. You know, something that really helps me whenever I get into that presentation mindset is to do what I call the presentation power stance. You know, this kind of harks back to my days in the band, and we all remember those rock stars of the 70s and 80s who had the big power stance before they hit the guitar solo. So this is my rendition of that. So presentation power stance, we put our feet shoulder width apart, push our shoulders back and take one big. Immediately, I've got an open stance to the audience. I'm ready to project my voice and I can just feel confidence come through me. And if you're one of those people who's watching this thinking, you know, I'm just not a confident person, maybe presenting's not for me, this is something I would highly recommend you try because it will give off and make you feel more confident as you go to present. And if you are one of those people, I have another piece of advice for you, and that is fake it till you make it. If you can give off the impression of confidence, people will start to buy into that. And then as you get that feedback from people, you'll feel more confident. And as you start to get more reps under your belt and do more presentations, that confidence will naturally build over time. So look, if you're not a confident person, my advice, fake it till you make it. Okay, so the next point is control. And there's 2 steps of control I want to talk about. But the first one we're going to talk about is controlling yourself. What do I mean by controlling yourself? Well, firstly, I mean, you need to be authentic. People have a built-in bullshit alarm, and if you're not being genuine, people will see right through that. You know, whenever you're presenting, you are turned up to 11 and you have expressive hand gestures and you're speaking in an expressive tone, but you need to still be you turned up to 11. You can't be a fake version because people will see right through that. The other aspect of control yourself you need to talk about is it's exactly that, ums and uhs and the way you speak. You know, one thing I would highly recommend to people is to take 5 minutes and video yourself on a subject that you're passionate about. So whether it's your job, you know, a hobby that you have, beekeeping, whatever, if you're passionate about it, put a camera up and just speak for 5 minutes and present on the subject. Very quickly you will begin to identify your quirks and the things that you don't like about the way you speak. And you'll be able to be aware of those whenever you're presenting going forward. And ums and ahs and stuff like that, that's stuff you just want to cut out to make sure that you're controlling the way you speak. The next thing is something that you'll maybe learn over time, and that is controlling the room. Whenever I think of some of the best presenters and the best communicators, I think of professional comedians, and nobody reads a room like a professional comedian. They can pick up what's working and what isn't and lean into that. And that's something as you begin to present more, you need to start to pick up. If you said something and you can see a bit of confusion in the room, maybe you haven't said it clearly enough and need to clarify that. So that's something that you'll just learn over time. And as you get more reps and more presentations under your belt, it's hopefully something you can pick up. And that's what separates good presenters from great presenters. Okay, the final thing that I want to talk about is clarity. What do I mean whenever we talk about clarity? Well, you need to know, firstly, what are you talking about? If you don't know what you're talking about, you're not going to be able to stand up and speak clearly and coherently. And one of the big things that people really worry about whenever they stand up without a script is pauses and rambling and stuff like that. If you want to be able to speak very clearly and coherently about a subject, you need to know what you're talking about. And one thing I like to think about is, essentially whenever you're presenting, or if you're doing a YouTube video like this, or if you're doing a speech, you're telling a story. And what do stories have? Very clear beginning, middle, and ends. If you know what those beginning, middle, and ends are, and you know the subject you're talking about, you can very easily hit those key points, take the audience on a journey, and then fill in the blanks in the middle because you're aware of what you're talking about and your subject. So look, those are the 3 key factors that I think are crucial to presenting like a pro. Confidence, control, and clarity. Nail them and presenting like a pro will become easy to you. So look, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe for more content like this and give this the mandatory like for the algorithm. And I will see you in the next one. Yes, we did it in one take. Please don't roast me in the comments. Thank you very much.